Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy.
What is going on, Fourth and Trollers? Welcome back to Fourth and Troll Fantasy, most entertaining fantasy show on the planet. My name is Noah Selby,
And I'm Wes Selby.
and we are back today with another video for you. We're talking about players who have lost some steam this offseason. These guys have dropped a little bit in ADP, have lost a little bit of love, they've lost a little bit of support, and we're here to tell you if are these guys just underrated or is this valid? Like, is this what are we doing here? What are we doing? Got a good group of guys to talk about with you. We're gonna jump straight into it. Before we do, make sure you follow us on our socials that are linked down below and join our Discord. We're always having a good time over in our Discord. Free to join and always a blast. So jump on over and join us in there. And let's get into it, Wes. We're starting out at the running back position with Breece Hall, running back of the New York Jets, going as the RB13 at the 308, back to the third. What do we think here with Breece Hall, Wes?
I think this could be a sneaky trap, and he could end up being amazing because of the way that so far Aaron Glenn and the Jets offseason has already talked about how bad Breece Hall is going to be in fantasy. They're like, oh, it's a split backfield. We love Braylon Allen. Oh, we're thinking about trading Breece Hall. Oh, if Ashton Genty was on the board, we might have taken him 7th overall. Like, there's so much negativity about his fantasy impact that part of me thinks they're just going to wear him to the bone and then just let him walk and figure out where he goes next year. I think this is fair though. I'm willing to take him as an RB2 potentially, but I think this is truly a fair and this is an underreaction. I think he is being rated properly. This isn't underrated. I liked him a lot, but I think this is real.
I believe it or not, I actually think he is a bit underrated this year. I think there's a chance that he comes out, and I don't think like top 5 is in the cards, but like if he ended the year like RB8, RB9, RB10, I'd be like, oh yeah, I probably should have seen that coming. He's still a really good player. But we act like he
That's how
fell
I
off a
feel.
cliff. He finished RB16 last year. Like it was just in comparison to expectation and ADP and where he was being drafted, it was a disappointment. But I think this is a sneaky. Maybe he might be a value here. We'll see. But it'll be fun to monitor. Let's jump to the quarterback position, Wes. Perhaps the biggest name in all of football. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's going as the QB6 at the start of the 6th round. I think this is pretty fair, if I'm being honest. I think this is valid. I think he's finally at a point where it's like, okay, we know what he's done and what he can do. And last year was rough and it was frustrating if you were a Mahomes owner. Finished as the QB 11, so not great. But before that, he had never finished worse than QB 8. And he's 2 years removed from obviously the superstardom that he had of being QB1, QB being a top 5 guy like multiple years in a row. I think the expectations are reflected in the ADP. I think he'll be a lot less frustrating of a fantasy player to own and to manage. And so I think this could be the season we see some more Mahomes magic. But what do you think?
Hot take. I think this is an overreaction. I think this is too high, personally. But I don't have confidence Mahomes
Like,
is gonna be top
like
10.
you think, oh,
I'm looking through the way that last season's quarterbacks are. So basically, I agree. I'm with you. I agree. I don't think he is a top 5 quarterback. But like I look at Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Bo Nix, I'd rather have over him.
sure.
Baker Mayfield, I'd rather have over him. And then I think we're looking at some other rushing quarterbacks too that have some sneaky upside. And it's like you go through the rankings, I think this might even be an overreaction. So point is, I agree, and I think we are at the point like Tom Brady was, where it's like, yeah, some games he's gonna get 40 points, but he may not be a fantasy great. He's just amazing in real life. But I think we're at that point, like you said, Mahomes is kind of past his prime in fantasy value.
I think you misunderstood me. I think he still could be a very good fantasy option. I think I
Well,
think
then,
he I think we're looking at a team that didn't do much to address the running back room besides bringing in a 29-year-old
right.
Kareem Hunt back and hope that Pacheco still kind of has it. But they are going to have Rashi Rice. It doesn't sound like he's going to get suspended. They're going to have another year of Xavier Worthy. They're going to have Hollywood Brown. I I think the signs that I'm seeing are pointing to, I think they want him to get back to what he had been before, and I think he would like to as well, to be honest. But he honestly says that every
Sure.
year. So it'll be interesting. I agree. I think I'd rather have Bo Nix. I think I'd rather have probably Baker Mayfield. It probably might be a couple guys, but I think it'll be interesting to see. I think now that things have adjusted and he's no longer going in the top 5, top 4, top 3, it'll be interesting to see where he gets drafted. Just because that's what his ADP is right now and where he's sitting on draft boards doesn't necessarily mean that's where he's going to go. So we'll definitely see. We're going to talk about another quarterback here. It is Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, third-year quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. He is going as the quarterback 28 at the back of the 14th round of drafts. Now, in the 14th round, what's the harm? Like, you're probably going to drop your last couple rounds pick anyways for your waiver pickup. So, what's the harm if he finds himself on the field? That's really what it comes down to. If he's finding himself earning more playing time and being worthy of being on the field over Daniel Jones, over Riley Leonard, then I think he has some legitimate value. He's a guy who's only played 12 healthy games in the NFL. But he averages 19.2 fantasy points in those games. So it's the highs have been high, the lows have been really low. What's the harm? But man, he was like the hotness coming into last year, and now he's borderline undrafted.
Yeah, this is the chance for the biggest diamond in the rough out of all fantasy players. If he gets that starting job for the Giants, or not for the Giants, I'm thinking of Daniel Jones all of a sudden. If he beats out Daniel Jones for the Colts starting job, I think this is one of the easiest picks in fantasy. And I just looked at the way he did in his last 5 games of the season. He had 5 rushing touchdowns. And he was QB4 and QB9 in 2 of those weeks.
Yes.
There's so much upside with such little risk. It's such low risk, it can't even be a risk anymore. So this is a complete overreaction. He should be drafted higher.
Yeah, there's no reason that, I don't know all the quarterbacks going ahead of him, but there's no reason that I don't know, well, no, I don't want to disrespect Bryce Young, but I was just saying, it's anyway. All right, now let's jump ahead here. Next guy we're going to talk about, Travis Etienne, running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, currently being drafted in the 10th round as the RB 37. Wes, I would like to hear your thoughts.
I do not expect Travis Etienne to be a top 10 running back. I can convince myself he's top 15. This feels like a bit of an overreaction.
This is a bitch of an overreaction, bro. This is crazy. You cannot look me dead in the face and say there are going to be 36 running backs who are better than Travis Etienne for fantasy football next year. I don't think you can look at me and say there's going to be 25 running backs that are going to be better in fantasy football than Travis Etienne. Well, he was injured. Listen, it was a terrible year for Jacksonville. The only shining spot was Brian Thomas Jr. and Tank Bigsby for a couple games. But it's an improved offense with an exciting new offensive-minded head coach and a team that didn't spend high draft capital to replace him when they were rumored to be. Liam Cohen supported 2 top 24 running backs last year in Tampa. And if you're telling me Travis Etienne is going to be Jacksonville's Rachaad White to whoever ends up being the Bucky Irving, Rachaad White was Rachaad White was I think he was RB 22. That is ridiculous for Etienne to be going this late. And if you've been following us for a while, your jaw's on the floor right now. Because last year we were Etienne sucks. We were this guy's terrible. Don't draft him. But this is such an overreaction. Yes, this is an underrated pick for sure.
Yeah, worth reaching on. If I'm drafting today and I've got even late 8th round, I'm reaching on Etienne. Give me a starter
Dude, like
in the
Etienne can be
10th
my
round.
4th or 5th running back. Like,
That's crazy.
that's
What great
ridiculous.
healthy depth for running back. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a complete overreaction.
Wow, that's fun. I'm glad we agreed on that. I didn't think we would.
Yeah, man.
Okay, next guy here. Tyreek Hill. Wide receiver of the Miami Dolphins, former stud. I don't know what happened last year. Going as the wide receiver 16 at the back of the 3rd round. I don't know if a player has gone from like most exciting pick to least exciting pick this quickly in like the span of a season. Like last year, it was like Tyreek Hill. I'm going to be great. I'm going to be incredible. My team is awesome. And now you're like, I guess I'll take Tyreek Hill. Like that's where things are at, and it's. I don't know. What do you think, Wes?
I just feel like this is right. This is fair. Like you take him for the name value, but I don't know if I can't guarantee he's going to be top 15. I don't know what the priority for Tua's targets are going to be like. I mean, this is the
Right.
reason we were so high on Etienne last year is because we kept seeing the PPR upside in training camp, and who knows if Jonnu Smith really is Tua's new favorite target.
Right.
I can't guarantee that Tyreek is going to be top 15. I would like to believe so, but I have very little doubt. I have a lot of doubt and little faith that he's going to be top 10. So, yeah, this is right.
He's one of those
Everybody,
players where if the season ends and he's the wide receiver 3, I'll go, duh.
yeah,
But then if the season ends, he's the wide receiver 27, I'll go, duh. Like
Yeah.
it's the range of outcomes is so broad. I just want one last thing. Since 2000, there have only been about 10 wide receivers age 31 or older that have finished inside the top 15 at the position. And that's been your Marvin Harrisons, your Reggie Waynes, your Brandon Marshalls, your Larry Fitzgeralds, Devontae Adams just did it.
Devontae Adams,
Like,
yeah.
like it's tough. Tyreek
Yeah.
obviously has been great, but it's tough. I think this is valid, and I'm probably more out than in on Tyreek this year. So
Same.
next guy here, someone we're going to talk about, just mentioned his father. It's Marvin Harrison Jr. Wide receiver, 2nd year for the Arizona Cardinals, going as the wide receiver 17, going to the back of the 3rd round. I've been taking every opportunity I can to let people know that Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't have a bad rookie year. He had like 900 yards and 8 touchdowns as a rookie in the NFL. It just wasn't as good as the expectation was. We expected him to come out and give us prime Jamar Chase right now type numbers in a rookie year, and that was a disappointment. There's a number of different reasons why. I got a lot of flack with the Arizona coaching staff and their schemes, and felt like he was more of a distraction than actually as an asset to the team. But I think this is a pretty accurate ADP, Wes. What do you think?
I think this is fair, and I expect him to have the upside where he is
Right.
a wide receiver that can absolutely be in the top 10, possibly top
Absolutely.
5. So I think this is fair because we don't know for certain how the chemistry is going to work between him and Kyler Murray. But I want to pull up um his father's numbers.
Dude, they're almost identical.
Yeah,
They are
like
almost identical. Do you have them?
no, I from the site I pulled up on fantasy data, it goes back to 2001, but I know for a fact because Marvin Harrison was drafted in the 90s.
Yeah.
This dude was off to a bit of a sluggish start for fantasy
Yes.
numbers, and it's not until Peyton Manning shows up that Marvin Harrison was top 5 every single year. And I
Yeah.
expect that to happen similarly for his son. So I'm not worried. We can be patient, but I like the value for what I can get with the upside for Marvin Harrison Jr. this year. So I think this is a fair reaction with a lot of upside.
Yeah, and I think by the time we're all drafting, I think he probably slides back a little further than that. I think there's
That
more
is a
offseason
steal.
hype that gets built around other players. I think if he goes around like the wide receiver 20 spot, he's especially a steal. But next up here, we're going to talk about an old man. It's Travis Kelce being drafted as the tight end 8. I don't remember the last time that was happening, but my oh my. As the tight end 8 at the back of the 7th round. Where are you at with Kelce this season, Wes?
I can't expect Travis Kelce to be who he was anymore. And I I know it would be really wonderful, mostly just for Chiefs fans, for Kelce to be for it to be like a John Elway type of story where he's like one last ride and he just goes out and gives it his all and he leaves it all on the field and is dying out there and is gasping for air as he finishes with 350 total fantasy points on the season. And it's like, I'm finally proposing to Taylor and hanging it up. I'm leaving football behind. And it's like, hooray, he was amazing. I don't see that at all. I see
No.
Noah Gray probably finishing with more points than Travis
Yeah.
Kelce.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's a fair reaction.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, honestly, I don't know if he'll be in my top 10.
It's not crazy.
Simply because Rashee Rice is going to come back and unlikely to be suspended. Xavier Worley comes back another year in the system. Hollywood Brown is back, who was injured for a very long time, but then played in the playoffs in 2 games in the regular season and was averaging. I didn't know this till we were planning this video. I knew I was seeing him more than I thought I would. He was averaging 6 targets a game, this guy. Like coming
That's crazy.
back. It's nuts. So I can't look at all those factors and go, yeah, Kelsey's still going to be a top 8, top 10 guy. I'm going to pass. I think he should slide more. I think this is not an overreaction. I don't think he's being underrated. I think this is fair. So last guy here, it is Cooper Kupp, just kidding. The Seattle Seahawk. He is being drafted as the wide receiver 46 going towards the back of the 9th round. Listen, if we get to the end of the season and Cooper Kupp is the wide receiver 15, I'm not going to be shocked at all. Like, I'm going to be like, oh, duh. Oh, I won't say at all. I'll be a little shocked, but I'll be like, yeah, of course. But yeah. I think this is actually probably pretty fair. I mean, I don't know if being almost the 50th wide receiver drafted is fair, but the fall off was so immediate and so sharp. It was like 1 week he was scoring 20 or so fantasy points, a few weeks in a row, having a good season, and then he disappeared. He disappeared out of out of nowhere. Yeah. And he did not come back for the rest of the year. And I don't mean he wasn't on the field. He was on the field. I don't mean it that way. I mean, he disappeared. And so sadly, this is a reflection of that performance. But what do you think with Kupp?
I think this is a steal for what you could get with a top 20 wide receiver.
Sure.
Especially when you get to the 9th round and you're getting bench players that can be fill-ins for bye weeks, can replace injured starters, or could even be packaged for trades. But I think this is where I would like to take Cooper Kupp. If I saw him in the 7th round, that's where I would kind of draw the line.
Yeah, I'd be like, it's
okay,
maybe?
I get it. Name value, maybe new team if he's healthy. Sam Darnold may not favor Jackson Smith-Njigba a ton. It's like maybe he just likes the veteran experience of Cooper Kupp. You just start going through the scenarios, but at 7th round, I would kind of call it there. 9th round, where he is currently, that's a value. I can take that.
Pretty
and
good
I probably will take him. Yeah. So this is a good reaction.
Cool. That's fair. That's going to do it. Drop down in the comments what you think of this list. Are these players underrated? Are they, should they be getting drafted higher? Should they be getting drafted even lower than they are? Let us know. Also, jump into our Discord. We're always having conversation around all the content that we're dropping. So it's a good time in there. And we will see you next time. My name is Noah Selby.
And I'm Wes Selby.
And this has been 4th and Troll Fantasy.